the ambassador to France. Thanks for being with us on this topic. We've seen this coming clearly as it passed the various houses of the Polish parliament. Now, getting this approval from the president and leading to the point we're at here. But explain a bit how. I mean, first of all, this feels like the worst diplomatic breakdown for Israel since things fell apart with Turkey. Now, Poland, a major ally, but this has widespread support in Poland. This initiative, this bill.
Yeah, it does have. And I think it can be explained by the fact, or a fact, that turns this into a major issue. There's no real dialogue between Israel and Poland about the actual issue. You have a broader picture in Israel, which is the role of Israel in preserving the heritage and memory of the Shoah, of the Holocaust, and protecting the interests of Jews around the world, which is part of the destiny of the Jewish state. But you also have a broader picture in Poland, which is one that fits into a general drive towards national pride, nationalism, some would say, and strong political language around that. So that is what leads to the clash. Both sides are using very strong language. You listen to Yair Lapid, who, let's admit it, is not known for his always for his moderation in choosing words, but he has a very strong view on this, and he had expressed that view even before he became part of the government. He was very critical of then Prime Minister Netanyahu when there were other waves of this kind of crisis.
Now, and speaking to the crisis, Israel and Poland are long-term allies here. A lot of things going on between the countries. What's at risk at this moment as things apparently break down?
It's a classic trade-off where you have to make a decision. Poland is an ally, is a diplomatic ally in the EU, is an ally in many other issues, trade, and there are good relations between the two countries, and that's okay. The question is, do you use these good relations in order to be critical sometimes? And I don't know, I wouldn't use the word reprimand because it's a little bit arrogant, but in order to make your point on issues that are of great importance to Israel and the Jewish people, most notably issues concerning Jewish history, the Shoah, etc., or do you back down? And I think the most important element that will now be at stake in the next few days is a decision by the current Israeli government to retract its support of a joint statement made between Prime Minister Netanyahu and then Prime Minister of Poland in June of 2018, which sort of supports the Polish narrative about the history of the Shoah, something that had created a lot of pushback and a lot of criticism in Israel at the time, most notably from now Foreign Minister Yair Lapid.
Yeah, we've seen many sound bites emerge over recent years on this issue. One thing that appears to be a new, or at least a ramped up aspect of this, and in the short time we have left, is the U.S. involvement. Israel's efforts to involve the Biden administration, who apparently also put pressure on President Duda, to no effect though. But what does the U.S. seem to be? What's their part?
First of all, this is a general trend, and I can only welcome it. It's a general idea of Israeli diplomacy being in consultation with allies, and mostly with the United States. Then there is a personal issue. Secretary of State Blinken comes from a family of Holocaust survivors, so there is an emotional issue there. So I don't know what this coordination will bring about, but I think it's welcome under any circumstance.
Ambassador Shek, thanks for being with us on the topic.